Yo, I got a quick video. I gotta say, Omnimusha, never played it before, but I gotta say, whoever, I don't know if they designed it here in the United States or in Japan, but goddamn, I gotta say, it looks amazing. It looks amazing. I'm very tempted to buy it day one for sure. Like, I'm not normally into horror games like I used to be when I was younger. When I was younger, I played all the horror games. I didn't care. In fact, it almost never scared me. Um, to be honest, when I was playing like a horror video game, but for whatever reason, when I play them now as an adult, it's fucking terrifying, man. That one part in Resident Evil where that white girl came out with the butcher's knife, that scared the fuck out of me, dude. Like, and I didn't really know what button to press, so she whooped my ass the first time I tried. She literally knifed me down and dead on the ground. Like, I was done. You know what I'm saying? That was an excellent fucking game. Honestly, I do like Resident Evil from, the first person's perspective, like Condemned, which is another amazing franchise. I don't know if enough people give that credit. Like, Condemned is one of the best first person experiences that I've ever played. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of terrifying too. Like, I don't know, like if you like scary movies, I highly recommend it. But like what they did with Resident Evil 7, I love that first person's perspective. I know it's like you guys have talent artistically, and some computer program takes a lot of hard work too. Like, I'm not gonna deny that, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? But Omnimusha looks dope as hell. I've never really been that big of a Resident Evil guy, but Resident Evil 7, if I had to choose, I would say Resident Evil 7 was exactly like what I really kind of liked. And it was easy to get into it, and it was easy to kind of figure out what the hell to do next. And that's kind of what I liked about it. You know what I'm saying? Um, but like the graphics of the remake of Part 2, I'm not gonna lie, I did buy it on sale because I'm not that big of a Resident Evil guy, but I do buy Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom day one brand new. You know what I'm saying? So like I do support fighting games because fighting games is where my true like video game passion really is. I'm highly anticipating hopefully they remake Punch Out for Nintendo, man. I still think that's one of the best fighting games of all time. I never played the one for the Wii, but like I really missed out on that, and I hope they re-release it. Like that game should be available day one. That's kind of what bothers me a lot about Nintendo, like, and all these other companies. Like, that's a big franchise for Nintendo. You know what I'm saying? Let's not forget that. Like, they don't even have a 4K update for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for Nintendo Switch 2. That's absurd. That's like literally the second number one played. Like, Mario Kart's number one, and then Super Smash Bros. Is number two. And then it's probably like 3D Mario and then regular 2D Mario. Even though I think Paper Mario is way better than 3D Mario and 2D Mario. But if I had to choose, I would put it Paper Mario, 2D Mario, and then 3D Mario. But like 3D Mario to me was never for me, man. I don't know. I always preferred 2D Mario. You know? But goddamn, no Punch Out yet? Really? The best fighting game of all time, we still don't have a re-release? Come on, man. You gotta be kidding me. That Nintendo Wii Punch-Out was dope as hell, man. The graphics on that, like, it was so nostalgic. They did such a good job, man. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, I'm probably, honestly, going to buy Omnimusha day one. I don't know if I'm gonna stream it, but yo, when I saw, like, the graphics on that shit looked fire. The samurai zombie shit, that shit was fire, bro. That was dope, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like, and I would be lying if I said Dragon's Dogma is the best RPG I ever played. I'm gonna give Capcom credit where it's due. Dragon's Dogma is the best RPG I ever played. The only other RPG that I saw that honestly caught my attention was Persona 5. Persona 5 Royal or whatever it's called. That shit looked fire. When I saw that shit, I was like, yo, I gotta play that. graphically, like it was just so different than anything else I had ever seen. Like artistically and everything. It was like it's just true talent. You know what I'm saying? It's like legitimate. Like those guys really are like they have the right team of people together in Japan or wherever they make that game. You know, that was beautiful. Like I'm not big on RPGs like I said. You know, I prefer games like Tomb Raider. You know, I was a little disappointed that Square Enix stopped making Tomb Raider games because in my opinion, the best Square Enix games of all time are Tomb Raider. That was phenomenal. I've never played a game like other than maybe like that I keep repeating the same ones, but goddamn, Tomb Raider is fire. The ones that Square Enix did, I always loved the ones that Eidos, I think they're from Canada. They did the original trilogy. I know that much. Um, but those games were fire too, though. Obviously, the graphic limitations of the time were nowhere near as amazing as what Square Enix could do with it. But I bet you if those guys were to make the original Tomb Raider now, it would be probably just as good as Square Enix. No doubt about it. There were certain moments where it no longer was like third person's perspective. Uh, like it would change and like suddenly you had to like ride a snowmobile through some sort of like cinematic like guest like almost like Dragon's Lair where you had to press the right button at the right time or like it completely like you have to start all over. I love those moments. It was like a break from the monotony. Like I hate to say it like that, but sometimes when they put the right break from the monotony, it's like perfect. You know what I'm saying? And they did such a phenomenal job at it. Like I noticed that the best developers are really good at like you're like you be playing the game and like suddenly you're like, yo, why? Like in the back of your head, and not to sound like a jerk or not, but like in the back of your head, you're like, why am I still playing this? And then suddenly, like you hear trumpets like da-da, 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 da-da. Here, the king comes out and shit with his whole cavalry and shit. And you're like, oh, word, like, yo, I needed some action right there. Like I feel like that's what like I don't know how else to explain it. I feel like you like you mastered like the science of like how long the attention span is till someone's like, okay, I'm done. And then suddenly some new shit happens and you're like, yeah. But yeah, I was gonna say, yo, out of love, I mean, Capcom, I do love a lot of your first party games. Street Fighter and Marvel, I mean, that's always gonna be my number one. Like, why do I buy Capcom games? It's for fighting games. Like, I just happen to fall in love with a few other franchises along the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, like Devil May Cry. Like, that's easily one of the best franchises of all time. The character design and everything is just like the gameplay, especially the gameplay. You know what I'm saying? The game like really makes you feel like a god the entire time, but like sometimes you run into another god, and that's what kind of makes the game amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like you just, it's the Clash of the Titans suddenly, and you're like, oh yeah. Um, that what was I gonna say? Yeah, Omnimusha, man. Like, I don't care, Capcom. I'm always gonna love your fighting games, whether you change it or not. I just really try to help you help you guys out. You probably already. The sad thing is, you probably already knew the whole time. Like, yeah, we know how to make a better game. You've seen us do it before, right? Like, they're like, no, it's our game. We make it however the fuck we want. Like, it's like, okay, if you're gonna be pieces of shit about it, next time let me know you're gonna drop a piece of shit version of your game. And then I'd be like, okay, I'll skip on this one. But like what I mean by that is like Rashid's level 2 doesn't have to be like a tornado, like a tornado on the screen alongside him, essentially making it a 2-on-1. But like I don't want to say it's set in stone in fighting games because like if you were to make a 3 versus 3 tag team fighting game from King of Fighters similar to Marvel vs. Capcom. In fact, I would get the guys who made Marvel vs. Capcom 3 in Japan, as far as I understand. They were the ones that made also Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which I still consider to be the best Marvel of all time. Even though I felt like the one thing it did lack was the characters from Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And to be honest, I would also love um, for there to be no push block on during while the assist is actually like um you know putting your opponent like in block stun. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like the game would be so much better if like you could still pressure your opponent with it instead of them always just get off me, get off me, get off, and just pushing you away over and over again. Like it's a 3 versus 3 fighter, so don't feel bad about having real like gimmicky cheap shit in the game. Like if there's any game JP should be in, it's Marvel vs. Capcom. If there's any game Seth should be in, Dulcim should be in, it's Marvel vs. Capcom. Because don't get it twisted, there's guys out there that pick Dulcim in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and will wipe their ass with anyone out there, dog. Believe me when I tell you, I've played those guys on Xbox Live, and they're dope as fuck with Dulcim in Marvel 2. You know what I'm saying? Um, what was I gonna say? Like I said, I love your games, man. But I am gonna support Omnimusha. As for Resident Evil 4, I know it's on sale right now for like 20. Like I said, I'm sorry to say it like that. I know the game looks beautiful. I'm not really a big horror game kind of guy. And I'm sure Omnimusha probably will be the exception to my to my um to my rule, you know what I'm saying? That game looks so incredible. Like I can't wait to chop like fucking zombies' heads off with a sword and shit. That's gonna be fucking awesome. And I know like Capcom usually makes games where it's like very easy to understand what to do next. Like Japanese games are very good at like making it extremely easy to know what to do next, and that's another thing what I do like about Japanese developers. But same thing with like developers like Gears, you know what I'm saying? Gears is perfect. You know what I'm saying? Gears is beautiful. I wish it wasn't $40 for PlayStation and Xbox. Damn near 20 years later, like 15 years later. Um, it would have been nice if it was like $20 instead. I know it's a lot of goddamn hard work, but goddamn, these games are like 15 years old already, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like Epic Games has let Fortnite steal the show so much that a lot of people kind of forgot that Gears of War is the actual franchise that kind of is like the foundation for Epic Games, you know what I'm saying, at this point. But like it suddenly turned into Fortnite and I was always like, what the fuck? I was like, I'm not a Fortnite player like that. I'm sure it's good because it's Epic Games, but like, and the fact that they were able to get that game running on smartphones is fucking phenomenal. I think that was the biggest amazing thing about what they were able to do with the game. But I'm still not really, I'm not really a fan though. I'm not gonna lie of Fortnite. I never liked the cartoonish color style. I'm sure it's amazing if I give it the time of day, but I always thought Gears of War is like just not only the story mode, but the you know what I'm saying, the multiplayer is phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? And I wish they would remake part. I don't know if they did already, but part 2 and part 3, man. Those were amazing as well. Like I started getting good towards the end in Gears of War, like towards the end of the first game, but in the second game, is when I truly felt like I became a god in the game. Like a true, you know what I mean? Like you run into another master at Street Fighter, and you just know you're fighting another master, and you're just like, fuck, like I didn't want it to be like this challenging, but it's still kind of fun in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like it's fun. Like it's intense because there's a lot of throwing going on, but I just don't like the fact that they made it the neutral jump in certain situations. Um, I wish the game would like I don't know, maybe I don't know how else to explain it. Like I guess that's part of what makes the game amazing though, is the way that they kind of leave it the way they did, and it kind of adds like a slight dynamic to break from the monotony out of nowhere, like the side switch when you break a grab and shit like that. I honestly did not like that. I was trying to command grab a M Bison player with Blanca, and he was grabbing me on reaction. Like my character was already probably like 10 frames into the animation. He was literally about to grab M Bison, and then he just grabs me out of it with a regular grab. I completely disagree with that. I could understand maybe a character like Zangief at point blank range. In fact, I kind of liked it better the way they had it in I kind of understand why they changed it from the way it was in Street Fighter 4. Because in Street Fighter 4, he was able to use the invincibility of his like 360 command grab to just swallow up your normal attacks. And now he could only really do this at like startup or recovery. And I gotta say, to the Zangief player that obviously is, or just either plays with the developers, or actually is a developer, and even though I shouldn't have done this, I mean the fact that he was able to counter me with this was pretty fucking dope though. Because I did a hard punch Blanca ball, and he perfect parried it on the first try. It was literally like the first one I threw out the entire fucking set. He perfect fucking parries it. Then he does forward medium kick on my recovery and catches me with a fucking 360 command grab. And I was just like, at that point, I swear to God, the first thing I told myself was like, yo, fuck this game. Like, I'm turning the shit off. But in all honesty, that's exactly how I want the game to be. Him being able to perfect parry a wild fucking toss like that should be perfect parried. You know what I'm saying? It should always be perfect parried. With the exception of normal attacks in the game, everything should be perfect parried outside of a combo. And drive rush should not be something that has so much invincibility. You solve all the game's issues right there. And in fact, I would increase the throw range a little bit. Maybe like another quarter, whatever the hell, horizontally, like, a quarter inch or something like that. Maybe even up to like another half inch. I know you guys are like, oh man, but believe me when I tell you that for drive impact, that additional like I wouldn't say half inch. I would say like maybe a quarter inch. I would say maybe even like, for whatever reason, it's hard to say. Like, I don't want to ruin the game entirely, but I feel like the throw range just for drive impact should like be way bigger. But yeah, like I said, I appreciate that. I will be picking up what is it called? Capcom Fighting Collection 2 for sure. I know I hope Fatal Fury, I mean SNK Playmore is not too upset with me. The more I play a game, the more I like it. But like I said, it still needs that medium punch, medium kick. I know you guys are like, oh no, this is King of Fighters, and it can't be like this. And obviously for Samurai Showdown, it makes way more sense to be like a simple 4-button fighter, or like whatever you want to call it. But the game is dope. Like I said, I would make one simple change in Just Defend. I would make Just Defend exactly the way it is in Third Strike. Instead of down back, I would just make it down, and then I'll make it forward to parry, forward to Just Defend, and then down to, I know you guys are like, oh, but that's all people are going to do. Not really, though. Like, it's still fucking hard to kind of do that. You know what I mean? Like they could still like do standing hard punch, and then like if you try to, you know what I'm saying, parry it, they can like super the second part or EX the second part. You know what I'm saying? Like there's varying levels like that. Like that was part of Third Strike as well. You know what I'm saying? That was part of Third Strike's. Part of another thing I would change in Street Fighter 3 that I did love that Third Strike had. Is like crouching light kick, crouching jab, and standing jab. I would make that so that like if they, I would make it so that you could not perfect parry it. You know what I'm saying? Like I would also make it so that like if they try to grab you after the perfect parry, you still have the EX option. Like that, I always loved that additional option in Third Strike. The only difference was like if they perfect parry it, you could still super and you could still EX. So like when someone had meter and you parried and you tried to strike them, they could still use the special move cancellation of the normal attack to do a EX move or a super behind it, even though it's a little bit harder to do than a traditional combo. Like if I legitimately commit to doing an EX fireball, like on I don't know how to explain it. Like if I do crouching jab and he parries me, and then like I decide the same player that did the crouching jab and got parried decides to do like an EX uppercut with Ryu or Ken. I was gonna say the Ryu player, the whatever player it is that parried that is not necessarily safe to attack at that moment. So like because of that, it opens up like other possibilities like a grab. You know what I'm saying? Or like it opens up the possibility that they might not counter strike you on that parry, even though if you had no meter, they should. Because you have meter, that changes the whole dynamic of the match a little bit. Because they're not always going to have meter. So, like, it kind of makes you go, oh, shit, a little bit more. But, like, it's kind of, I hate to say that it's good for the game, but it makes the game way more interesting than this ever was. I mean, Street Fighter 6 ever was. Even though I do agree with some of the changes. And I do like like the only reason I'm not playing Street Fighter 6 right now is because no one's playing it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna deny it. I wish the stages on another thing that I don't like about Fatal Fury. There's a lot of things I do like. I don't want you to get the wrong impression about me. I'm a longtime fan, so I'm sorry that I scrutinized the game probably a little bit more than some of your other fans out there. But I would like to see more stages come back like the ones that were in King of Fighters 12 and 13, especially the dojo stage. I don't know whose stage that actually is, who that belongs to, but there's like a wooden floor dojo. And there's really nothing else in the background. It's way easier to concentrate on like the actual match itself. Sometimes I feel like Japanese fighting games, they put too much stuff on their backgrounds. I'm not saying I don't like it, but for the sake of competing and like playing ranked and playing like tournaments, like you kind of want the stage to be as simple as humanly possible. Like no offense to the talented artists that can put a Tyrannosaurus Rex like a Tyrannosaurus Rex dinosaur in the background and have it like moving around and shit. Like that's amazing talent. But when I play a ranked match or a casual match or like, for people that go to tournaments and play in tournaments, they want like complete, like they don't want this to be left up to like chance. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why when you play Street Fighter 2, you see everybody plays on Ryu stage. There's a reason why almost everybody plays on Ryu stage. Like it just happens to be like the right color and the right tone, and whoever designed that stage really knew what they were doing. Like when it came to designing a stage, it's not the only one that I like. Like I always love Temple of Ascension in Street Fighter V was beautiful. The background music was incredible. I love the background. Like I feel like there's two parts to a stage that I have to like. The music that comes with it, whether it's like obviously it's character specific a lot of the times. The music has to like really be good with it. Like, when it comes to Street Fighter, like Third Strike Ryu, the stage for Ryu and Third Strike, that was one of the best songs you ever did. The rhythm on that song is incredible. For a fighting game, that's phenomenal. I would love to see Mortal Kombat bring some more of that in their game. In the original Mortal Kombat, like they had like a lot of like kung fu influence, like from the actual movies. Like the actual sound effects from Mortal Kombat sounded like they sampled it straight out of like a the Shaw Brothers movies. You know what I'm saying? And everyone knows, like, when it comes to kung fu movies, Shaw Brothers is like, the original guys that made amazing movies, like, from kung fu. Like, you know what I'm saying? I would be lying if I said I liked all of them. But, like, when it comes to Shaw Brothers, I did like all of them. But what I mean is, like, there was a lot of other Chinese guys that tried to make movies and tried to be just like them. And, oh, you killed my master! Like, I felt like one talented, like, Chinese guy wrote a story about it. And then, like, everyone else was like, how do you write a movie? And they were like, just do what he's doing. And they're like, what's that? You killed my master! You know what I mean? Like, I feel like every fucking kung fu movie was like, you killed my master! I'm coming back for you! I'm gonna get big and strong and I'm gonna prove to you! Like, I felt like every movie was like that. What was I talking about again? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah, Guile on his crouching hard kick. I want that to be unsafe on block, for the love of God. First of all, it should only be one sweep. It should be safe on block, especially if there's two that come in. God damn, by the second one, you can't figure it out yet? Mortal Kombat, if I could change one thing on Mortal Kombat, it would definitely be the music. I would love for them, for however they do it, I would love for them to pay the amazing producers that were in the original Mortal Kombat movie. There were some fire fucking beats on there, dog. Like, and like, the only thing I would change on those songs, like, I would take away, like, when the guy's, like, saying the names of all the characters in the song itself. You know what I mean? That's kind of distracting when you're playing the game. Like, when you're actually competing. But, like, just to have the actual song, like, as background music is fucking fire. And, like, we all know as fans, the song from Part 2, the only song from Part 2 that makes you go, oh, shit. You know which one I'm talking about. We want to assume that it belongs to the stage, the Wizard of Oz stage with the trees with the faces on it. We all as fans want to assume that that's what that song belongs to. But I think the songs are not even stage specific or character specific. I could be wrong about that. Maybe they're stage specific only. If I could change one thing, but Mortal Kombat, I would say for a 2D fighter, you're really, you kind of perfected it. You basically perfected it. Mortal Kombat 1 is just the exact opposite in a lot of ways to Mortal Kombat 11. I honestly preferred Mortal Kombat 11. I thought Mortal Kombat 11 was a masterpiece. I'm going to say it over and over again. It's the best 2D fighter of all time. I know the Japanese guys over there, if they were smart, they would be playing Mortal Kombat because Mortal Kombat is incredible. But don't get me wrong, like Street Fighter is also incredible, but it's just a completely different, it's more about like, I feel like when it comes to Street Fighter, they were just like, no, we want it to be cheap as fuck. And It's fun. It's fun to when you're winning in Street Fighter, but it really is not fun when you're losing in Street Fighter. And that's the one thing I want to change in Street Fighter because when you play the original Mortal Kombat arcade games, which I still consider to be some of the best 2D fighters of all time, maybe not the best, but some of the best to this very day. And it's a shame that like the newer generation of gamers can't appreciate how phenomenal those games really were. Absolutely. Um, like I'm still waiting for Mortal Kombat Trilogy with online play. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see that. I would love to see the original developers of the Mortal Kombat arcade game to like do like a 2D HD remaster of it where like when you land let's say for example when you land a fatality it's not like the way it is in the game now. It becomes like a Mortal Kombat 11 fatality where like Johnny Cage like reuse the one from Mortal Kombat 11 where Johnny Cage like he uppercuts the guy like one time and then the director puts like his thing and he's like God, no, do it again. And then he like uppercuts him again and like it almost his head almost comes off. And then by like the third one his head really comes off. I fucking love that. That is you know the same issue that I feel like Street Fighter has, that Mortal Kombat has, where they're like, no, we have to make all new fatality cinematic animations. No, you don't. That's what the character does ever since we knew who the character was. So leave that in the game. What, even if we have to pay for it, I would pay for it. Honestly, like at a love for the fans, I would give it to them for free. The additional fatalities from the past. Because there's just so many good ones in Mortal Kombat 11, and it would be a shame to lose some of them. And I love the Babality. I mean, it was Babality, right? In Mortal Kombat 9? If I'm not mistaken, there was Babalities and there were stage fatalities. Stage fatalities really need to make a comeback. I know you guys are like, damn, that takes a lot of hard work. I don't think it really takes that much hard work for a talented group of guys that might not necessarily be like the amazing artists that can draw these characters out of nowhere. I'm talking about guys that are just like artists that are just good at coloring. Like they know how to make a HD color stand out. Like they could take the old pictures and videos and like touch them up just enough where you go, wow, this is like HD 4K graphics. Like I always thought it looked good, you know what I'm saying? But you get what I'm saying? You understand what I mean by that. Like as a fan, I'm kind of disappointed. Not that Johnny Cage was my character, even though he should be. Because anyone that plays Street Fighter and wants to transition to Mortal Kombat should be playing Johnny Cage. Because he's probably the most similar to a Street Fighter design character with quarter circle motion moves. Whereas like if Mortal Kombat players want to transition to Street Fighter, they should be playing E Honda. Because it's more back forward punch moves. And like if you don't know about E Honda and Street Fighter, like charge back, like most charge character players in Street Fighter hold down back at the same time because now you could do his flash kick, which is up down up kick, or back forward punch. Now you basically control the whole screen with the exception of crouching jab, standing jab. Never do it to standing jab or crouching jab. You could do it to crouching light kick. Believe it or not. Because crouching light kick cannot be special move. Actually, no. You cannot do it to crouching light kick. I'm wrong about that. Well, it depends on the situation. If he's far enough that he can only do one, you can do it. If he's close enough that he can do two, you can do it. If he's at close enough at point blank range where he could do three on counter hit, it's going to beat you. It's going to beat you. So, same thing with standing jab and crouching jab. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like, even though, like, Scorpion was the exception for me. You know what I'm saying? Scorpion in Mortal Kombat 11 was, like, the most fun I ever had playing a ninja from Mortal Kombat. I really wanted to learn Sub-Zero, but Sub-Zero, I don't know. I liked the way he was in 11, more than the way he was. I don't know why my voice just did that. I sounded really tweaked, like my throat, like sounded a little bit busted right there. Um, Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat 11 was awesome. I just felt like there was way too many strings with Scorpion and Sub-Zero that all kind of were like back, like it looked like a low kick, a standing low kick. And the reason I do love that, believe it or not, is because, especially for Street Fighter players, it's so deceptive. Like, because in Street Fighter, a standing light kick, you don't have to block that low. But in WB games, you do have to block it low. And I think if Street Fighter were to add that as well, that would make a lot of changes, believe it or not. Like, I hate to say it like that. I hate to say it like, oh, but then that's all people are going to do is standing light kick. Yeah, but standing light kick has never been a button where you go, like, I don't think it's ever been so terrifying where in Street Fighter, I don't know, maybe Street Fighter is its own thing. I don't want to change the games too much, like I said, bro. Like, a lot of what you're doing is right. You know what I'm saying? You catch me in the heat of the moment where I just fucking lost a close match because some scrub hit me with a drive impact, even though I'm mashing drive impact, nothing comes out. So, like, when you hear me saying shit like that, you know, it's just because I'm getting hype about, like, I really want to win. You know what I'm saying? And also, Samurai Showdown, I don't know if you did it on purpose, but I bought Baiken as an additional character in Samurai Showdown because that's my favorite Guilty Gear character, alongside the bitch with blonde hair that is kind of like Chun-Li with hair. I don't know her name, but I call her like the Chun-Li with hair. I don't know how else to explain it, but she's obviously Chun-Li with hair. In fact, like I feel like Guilty Gear owes Street Fighter a little bit of money. I mean, really? She does the Chun-Li kick with hair? Really? Maybe not, but like I think they're just honestly paying tribute. I think they're honestly just showing love. Like they're like, yeah, we are Street Fighter fans, but we decided to learn and make our own fucking game. And what the fuck are you gonna do about it? And we're like shivering. We're like, all right, bro, just relax. All right, keep up the good work. We'll play your whack shit too. But like, we know deep down that they know how to make it dope as fuck because they just did it. They just did it in Mortal Kombat 11. Like, why the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like, of course I'm talking shit. Like, you just showed the whole world that you knew what the fuck you were doing. And then suddenly we buy the new game, and like, you don't look like you know what the fuck you're doing anymore. And like, of course I'm gonna talk shit. Like I said, yeah, I lost track of what I was gonna do. I just need my own place, man, at this point, to be honest. Um, but I can't be in no apartment. No offense. I talk too fucking loud to be in an apartment, dog. You could hear, a nigga don't even, yo, the FBI don't even need like devices to keep tabs on me. They can just stand like half a block away, and they'll know everything I'm saying. Yeah, he's talking about Street Fighter. Yeah, yo, he lost. He lost. Yeah, I'm sure. Like I talk that fucking loud. Yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. There's a lot of shit that I do like about your game. Because of Drive Impact, I feel like if Throw were to consistently beat Drive Impact more, everyone would fucking love this game. It's like just a simple change like that. Like, I don't know if they can make it so that like when Drive Impact motion is activated, the throw range is increased like half an inch. If they were to legitimately just make a simple change like that, like for whatever reason, there's a second throw that like is only available during that brief moment of time that Drive Impact is actually active. The reason I say that is because like most beginner players are going to go, oh, he Drive Impact, just throw. Like they don't have to go, oh, I got to perfectly parry this to fucking deal with it. Like, it's crazy. You're overcomplicating it and you're making it more difficult than it has to be. Just just doing a simple change like that makes you go, you know what? Street Fighter is fucking dope. Now they just gotta tweak a few more special moves, like Cammy's spinning back fist. That's fucking absurd. That's safe on block. That's absurd that she has a cross up with it. I think, especially in the corner, that's fucking ridiculous that she has like an ambiguous cross up with the spinning back fist on EX only. That's fucking crazy to me. That move is designed for one thing and one thing only, and that's projectile. If you do want to make it the way you are, I don't mind that they counter me with it. But goddamn, when they completely break your defense with a with a spinning back fist, I think that's absurd. I know that I can jab it on reaction. Basically on reaction, you can stop. It's just that there's a certain feel about Street Fighter that it doesn't feel like you can attack when you're supposed to be able to attack anymore. Like, I didn't notice that in Street Fighter 5. But like, a part of me kind of likes the way the recovery is in Street Fighter 6 a little bit more, because I feel like, not always, like sometimes I'm like, why the fuck did they make it that quick, especially on like crouching jab? But I feel like crouching jab is way easier to counter hit than ever before, and I love it. I think that was one like addition that the game desperately needed. Like in Third Strike, it's very the way I would do it is like, I would try to hit him with like an anti-air dragon punch that had like at a certain point had like invincibility. So I would use that invincibility to beat the jab, because I just knew that was such a strong option for a lot of beginner. I mean, it's just a strong option overall, but especially for beginner players. They love trying to jab and grab you. You know what I'm saying? But the thing with a jab is that a jab has push block on it. So when they jab you, whether they hit you or not, you're going to start moving back. But if they're at a range where you like anticipate that you're going to go back and you have not gone back yet, even though they jabbed you, you probably cannot counter hit either. Like, I feel like there's certain moments where, like, if they like, let's say for example, if they jump kick you at point blank range, you can't, like, out of fear that they're going to keep pressuring you, if you press a button, you're going to get counter hit. So in a weird way, like, it just kind of opens up another path for a throw. But the problem with that logic, that's a perfect logic, and it should be in the game. But the problem with that is that players now neutral jump and try to counter hit a grab on the way down, and that's completely unacceptable. I know I said it earlier in one of my videos, but I was wrong. I actually do like the fact that the developers made that safe on block. But in a way, I kind of understand it. In a way, I kind of understand it, because I should just be escaping their throw. And if I do that, I won't have to worry about the neutral jump. But the problem with that is, the problem that I have is that sometimes you have to go for a throw. You have to be able, especially in such a simple 2D fighter, you have to be able to go for a throw. It should not be the entire fucking game. I think there's times where Ryu's back throw should be his only throw. That solves Ryu's issue with his throw loop in the game. He's too good in the game to have a throw loop situation where he's just throwing you over his shoulder and trying to shimmy you or trying to strike you and trying to throw you again. Ken is too good to have that as well. Akuma is too good to have that. Cammy is too good to have that. Guile, not necessarily. Guile is not too good at that. He can be when he has meter. I think when he has meter, but the problem with that is that, none of those projectiles are really something that you really have to worry about, because, you can block it, and then, I don't know, there's just so much layers to it per character, you know what I'm saying? But the character that does neutral jump out of it. And honestly, for the game to make the perfect amount of sense, you should be able to anti-air them before they hit you on the way down. I feel like they maybe might have to make the window of opportunity maybe a little bit bigger just for online. I hate to say it like that, like, oh, just for online. But I feel like just doing that will make you go, okay, well, when you play in person, get prepared to have a tighter window of opportunity. But I feel like there's certain moments, especially during Drive Rush in Street Fighter 6, where I find it completely like ridiculous that a player like on block, like let's say on block. I love that. Don't get me wrong. I kind of like the ability to on block. I press, like, let's say I press with Ryu, I press crouching medium kick, I drive rush it, and then if my opponent, you know, he might not, he could strike me. He could strike me on block, but like on hit, I could do on crouching medium kick. Even though I should combo, I should be teaching combo instead. But I kind of like the fact that you could crouching medium kick, drive rush, and then try to go for a grab. For certain characters, I like that option, especially like a Dhalsim. They never see it coming. They never expect Dhalsim to be at like that crouching medium punch range, which is legitimately the only button you should be using with Dhalsim at mid range. If you're using anything else, you're going to lose. I do love his standing hard kick, by the way. His standing hard kick, having drive rush capabilities and super cancel and special move cancel, gives him a lot of options. Like standing hard kick, I know it's not, maybe without meter it is, but standing hard kick into EX Fireball, you have a pretty good setup with the teleport behind or the teleport in front. Like if you teleport in front, you might not necessarily be in grab range, but with an EX projectile there, you have enough time to get there. So like it gives him like a slight dynamic that he really needs. You know, but yeah, I like being able to maybe go just for the grab, but I don't like that players are getting pressure from it. If I could change one thing, I would change that. I would make it so that you can continue a combo with drive rush, but you cannot do, you know, there's like it just goes, you know. And if I could only choose between Street Fighter 4 combo system or Street Fighter 6, I can't say that word. I forgot. I can't say that word. Anytime I say that word, my system starts talking to me. Which I love the feature, by the way. PlayStation, Sony. Goddamn. I wish they would maybe disable it just for during stream. The voice assistant. What was I gonna say? Yeah, like I said, you know, for all the shit talking I've been doing, I think I might pick up Omnimusha day one. Not only because it looks fire, but because like I don't want you to get the wrong impression about me. I am a longtime fan. You know what I'm saying? I still think you know, X4 was the best one they ever did. When Zero became like I think he was first a playable character in part X3, but in X4 like you could start the game as him as far as I know. I never actually played X3, but I instantly fell in love with X4, that's for sure. You know what I'm saying? And the boss fights for Mega Man are dope as fuck, especially they have always been good. But the ones for 10, I thought they were damn near like maybe too hard. I know I had the slow motion, but I felt like even with the slow motion, it was too fucking hard, man. Like I feel like Mega Man needs a little bit more space to work with in between what the characters kind of slamming on you and shit. And I wish like maybe on the easiest setting, like you could call the dog to like maybe get like a power hit on him every once in a while. Like you could build him up and shit. Um, I'll leave it at that. Like I said, I want to play more Street Fighter. There's this piece of shit M Bison player that really got the best. I wouldn't say he got the best of me, but I switched to who'd I pick? I picked Ryu, and Blanca cannot beat M Bison. I would love for a Blanca player to prove me wrong, but that matchup is like fucking. I've beaten M Bison players before with M Bison. I mean with Blanca, but holy fuck. You know, I thought like the way the character's designed, Blanca has. There's nothing he could do. The only thing he possibly can do is forward medium kick. As ridiculous as that sounds, that oh my god, why would you ever do that? It takes way too long on startup. For whatever reason, it's the only thing that fucking works. Don't know why. But on block scissor kick, for whatever reason, forward medium kick does work unless for whatever reason when they're at like that further distance scissor kick block. But like when they're at point blank range, don't ever go for that. Go for that crouching light kick that will hit more times than not. You know what I'm saying? And even if they go drive impact or anything like that, you know, you'll still be safe on block, safe on hit as well of the drive impact. So yeah, I don't know. I don't want to stream too long. I know there's a lot of other streamers out there. But yeah, man, Omnimusha, man, that shit looks fire though. That was legitimately the only thing I wanted to say in my video, but I just kept rambling on and off for like 2 hours. And I apologize for that. I really am a fan of what you guys doing. You know what I'm saying? I know you guys work hard. Like, I don't want you to get the wrong impression of me. Like, I am competitive and I do want to win just like a lot of other players out there. But, you know, I don't want you to take those moments where I'm like, you know, I'm playing against players that are studying they're studying my videos and shit and like trying to join me again and try to prove that they can beat me. So like, don't get it twisted. Like I'm playing against guys that I've probably been beating for months or years at this point that like know all my little fucking moves and shit. So like, I'm still beating a lot of them, but like I ran into the one M Bison player with Blanca that he legitimately was whooping my ass. If this was Super Turbo or Third Strike, I would fucking dominate you and fucking wipe my ass with you any day of the fucking week, though, dog. I don't care what fucking character you switch to or none of that shit. I'm a real fucking dope fucking player, and I'm gonna get my motherfucking win, and I don't give a fuck who the fuck I'm playing against. M. Bison is completely broken character. He should not be in the playable state that he currently is, and that's the only reason you can fucking compete with me. If it weren't for that, you would never fucking have a chance, dog. Ever. As long as you fucking lived, you would never be good enough to do it. I am going to play ranked right now and player matches in Street Fighter, even though I would love to play more Fatal Fury, but everyone's so desperately trying to hide secrets from each other for the big tournament so they could win the money. And hey, I don't blame them, but I just want to play some fucking Fatal Fury, man. Like, I just want to play for the fun and shit. Like, I do like it, but no one's fucking playing the shit. You know what I'm saying? In fact, I like the uppercut more in Fatal Fury than I do in Street Fighter 6. Okay, I'm gonna end it there. I am gonna start up Street Fighter 6 again, and I am going to play um like I'm spending the last little bit of money that I have on Omnimusha and Capcom Fighting Collection 2. So I do want to let you know that I am a huge fan of you guys. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to get the wrong impression about me. I am a longtime fan, legitimately. I've played all your games like from early on, like even Resident Evil. It never was like my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? That I like, oh my God, this is like my fucking kind of game. Like, it was always graphically ahead of its time for the systems that they were launching on. Graphically, they probably always were like top tier and among the best of like all the other amazingly graphical games for the time that they came out. But like I said, I've played some of the remake of Part 2 and I did love it. Like, it scared the fuck out of me when the zombie was like in front of me and trying to grab me. It scared the fuck out of me. Like, I shot him in the fucking face and like a part of his face came off and he kept on walking and that shit was fucking dope as fuck. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of fun doing that. It was an excellent way to start the game. And it also did scare the shit out of me when, like, before you actually see him, like, from third person's perspective on the screen walking towards you, they kind of show like a close up of his face, and he kind of looks like the Crypt Keeper from HBO. I don't know if you guys know who the fuck that is, like the weird little guy that used to scare the fuck out of me. I probably shouldn't have said that out loud, but now you guys are gonna probably try to give me nightmares with the shit where he would stick his face out and be like, yeah, he looked a lot like that fucking guy. Could you imagine seeing him, like, when you walking down the street, like, you see him, like, walking towards you, like, on the sidewalk and shit? What would you do if he was walking on the sidewalk and you turn around and you saw him behind you? Nigga, I'll start running. I swear to God, I'll start running. I'll run to the nearest public place, yo, straight up. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I'm about to start up the Street Fighter. Street Fighter 6. Okay, yeah, my system keeps talking to me. I keep forgetting about that. Like I said, I'm gonna end the broadcast there. I've been doing it for a while. Like I said, I'm just a long time Street Fighter fanatic. I always loved the game. I always specifically wanted to master, like, Third Strike for me was my favorite. The third version of Part 3, I don't know if they know, like, you know, I don't know if some of the Japanese players watch my, like, because I've messaged some of the Japanese players, and I've always wanted to play against the best Japanese players in Street Fighter. I always had a lot of respect for, like, a lot of the older players. Some were white boys, some were, like, you know, South American, some were, you know, black, and some were, you know, Japanese. You know, I'm not going to deny that. You know what I'm saying? Japanese players were always some of my favorite players, especially Daigo. Daigo Umehara was always, like, my favorite player of all time. Like, in Japan, no doubt about it. Like, I always thought that he was, like, he played the game the way I love to play the game. Like, he made you fight. Like, when you play Daigo Umehara, you have to fight. When you play him, you have to fight to win or you will not win. He's that fucking good. And Justin Wong as well. Like, if you play Justin Wong, you have to fight to win. Because he will make you fight. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes them so good. You know what I'm saying? I know that they play to win, but so do I. But, like, my play to win is a little bit different. I'm a little bit flashier. Like, not to take anything away from those players, they're playing in tournaments and they're trying to win money, and that's the real reason they play the way they do. But, like, whether I'm playing for money or not, I either get knocked the fuck out in a blaze of glory or I fucking win in a spectacular fashion. There's no in between. I go for the big fucking spectacular moments all the time. If you don't want to give me the spectacular moment, I'll find it. I'll get it. You're not above the system, just like no other player is above the system. I will find an opening. I will come and I will find my opening against any fucking player.